Hey guys, today I'm changing the oil in this 2014 KTM 250SX. Before you begin draining the oil on your bike, you're going to want to make sure you have any skid plates or guards taken off that are going to block you from getting to the oil bolt or that are going to get soaked in oil. There are a few materials that you are going to need and a few references you are also going to. The first thing you will need is the appropriate owner's manual. Next, you'll also want the appropriate oil found in your owner's manual. For 250s and 300s, you will need a 13mm socket and an 8mm socket. Here, I'm using an 8mm T-handle. You'll also want a new crush washer. If you have an aftermarket oil filler cap, you may need a 17mm wrench to break it loose. Finally, you'll want a ratio right to measure the rough amount of oil. The next step is to find specifications regarding the oil change on your motorcycle. For this 250/300, we see that it's 0.85 quarts or 800 cc's. And most importantly is to check the type of oil and the weight of oil you'll be using. KTM recommends Motorex products, so this would be a 15 weight 50 Motorex Performance 4T synthetic oil. Next step is to make sure that the bike is clean, level, and cold when draining the oil. The first step, now that making sure the bike is clean and cold, is to remove the oil filler cap. Now I'm going to lower the bike onto the floor with a triangle. The next step is to remove the oil drain bolt. To make it easier to get access to the drain bolt, you can loosen the back brake by undoing this bolt right here with an 8mm. Now I'll place the oil drain pan directly under the oil drain bolt. To begin, I'm going to push down on the brake, and now I can slide that 13mm right on the oil drain bolt. And I can begin to loosen. When you remove the oil drain bolt, make sure that that copper washer right there is still on it. Now we can inspect our oil drain bolt. As you can see, mine's pretty clean, but we're going to want to replace this washer because it's getting a little worn. Now I'll replace the washer with this new one, slide it on there, like so, and then clean the magnet. This is the magnet, and oftentimes you'll find little shards of metal, so you're going to want to take a towel, clean towel, and wipe that off. Now that our oil is finished draining, we can go and lightly put this new drain bolt or a clean drain bolt back in the bike and slide it in there. Now that we have the oil bolt loosely in, we can go and take our torque wrench and set it to 20 Newton meters. Next, I'm going to put my extender on, which is pretty helpful if you have one. I'm going to put it on my torque wrench and begin tightening. So I'm going to take my 8mm T-handle right here and begin undoing the oil level check bolt. As you can see, the bolt comes with another copper crush washer, and be sure to keep that with this bolt. So referring back to the service manual, the 250/300 takes 0.85 quarts or approximately 800 cc's of oil. I should be using 15 weight 50 Motorex oil, similar to this oil, but I'm out today and I'll be using some Rotella T4 oil. So I'm going to begin by filling the ratio right up to 500 cc's and then pour that into the bike, and then another 300 cc's to make 800. So I'm just open up the Kickstarter and try to get lucky and not spill any. If you want to use a funnel, that would be smart as well. So now that I have my first 500 cc's of oil on the bike, I'm going to go and fill the ratio right back up to 300 to make a total of 800. Now I'm going to put the remaining 300 cc's in the bike, and you may notice right here that some oil will start dribbling out of the oil level check bolt. You can see that I have some oil dripping out of the check bolt, and I'm gonna let that drain until it's all the way done dripping. So my next step is to set my torque wrench to 10 Newton meters. Remember to use an 8mm socket. Now that I'm at 10 Newton meters, I'm gonna grab my oil check bolt and make sure you still have that copper washer on there. Mine looks in good condition, so I'm not gonna be replacing it. Now I'm gonna install the oil filler cap. Make sure it's clean and there's no dirt on it. Mine looks pretty clean, and I'm just gonna take my 17 or 19mm wrench and install it. The next step is to reinstall this brake plunger that I pulled out. So I'm gonna go and take it, slide it up into the reservoir a little bit, and try to align it with the hole, and thread it in. So that's it. After wiping the remaining oil off the clutch cover, it's all done. Thank you guys for watching. I'll keep doing some more little upgrades and how-to videos on this bike.